riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my money. Down by the riverside, down by that riverside. Ba-ba-da.
Coach, if you can start off with a brief opening statement,
Sure.
then we'll go to questions.
Well, it's great to be here and great to represent the Big Ten Conference and the Ohio State University and a football team that is very excited to be here. I've made it very clear, and I haven't had to make it very clear, but it has been very clear that this is history. It's the college football playoff, and what a great place to have it in New Orleans at the Sugar Bowl. So we're honored to be here.
Questions?
Urban, what is, oh, excuse me,
Go ahead.
no, what is the feel of your team or the demeanor of your team? Did you like what you saw when you left Columbus today?
Well, I think you know the answer to that. I didn't like it. I love it. And our guys are, we got through finals, went through a couple phases. Then Christmas, they came back bright-eyed, ready to go. And you'd have to really check the pulse of a human being if they're not in a great mood to be, headed where we're headed. And that's a Sugar Bowl against a great team. But it's a playoff. That's a unique thing that I've felt much different. We know this. If we do the best we can and win a game, it's not the end. And so it's much different to feel than a normal bowl game.
Is everyone here that's expected to be here? Can you update any injury situation?
Everybody's here who should be here, I guess. Injury, Dontre is, 50-50 for the game. He's still in a boot, but we're still, at least a few plays we're hoping to get out of him for the game. I think everybody else is ready to go. Armani's ready to go.
Ted?
Urban, you talked about being a different field. You've been in a championship game and you've been in a bowl game. Do you want your players to have a bowl experience this week, or is the mindset more of how when you had teams in a championship game?
It's more of a championship game, and it's you hear the word, I use it a lot, and it's playoff. It's a playoff game, and so we're treating it a lot. I don't know if it's a lot differently. I always try to go win the game, but this is just a different feel. I was talking to our strength staff about it, our strength coach, and you just hear the term playoff, and you also know this is not it. If there's one more.
Over here to the right.
Coach, you've been on this stage before, but most of your players, probably all your players, haven't been. Alabama, on the other hand, has been. Does that concern you at all? That they may be a little bit more mentally prepared for this monumentous day?
Well, I think I get concerned about everything. I get more concerned about the great players they have, and the fact I don't want to undervalue or devalue the fact that they have been in a championship atmosphere before. But our guys have been there twice now, Big Ten championship game, and then the last 2 years. But there's probably a little bit to what you said, and obviously there's nothing we can do about that.
Questions?
Urban, what do you know about Alabama you didn't know 2 weeks ago? I mean, as you keep looking at them and stuff, what just jumps out at you?
Just the quality of player. I think they've won the recruiting battles every year for whatever it's been. And you can see all that development of players that they have. So I think the biggest thing is depth and rotation of guys that you, especially on the defensive line. That's kind of what for years, in theory, has separated the SEC from other conferences, and you can see it with this team. There's just, I want to say there's 10 to 12 defensive linemen they play.
You talked about Dontre, probably still iffy, but have you seen guys heal up over 3 weeks? I mean, do you feel like this is a fairly healthy team again?
Yeah, our guys a lot of pep in their step, and I think we've handled it the right way. Obviously we got one more tough day of practice, and then we start to back off, get them ready for the game.
Stewart here on the left.
Urban, like you said, it's a playoff game. If you win, there's another one after that. Have you talked to your NFL colleagues about how to shape preparation?
No, I was tempted to, but we're just treating this like a one-game season, and then worry about next week. There's temptation. I remember in the summer saying, okay, and I would just think about, maybe you take part of your staff and have them start watching Oregon and Florida State, and then there's no way. You just don't have the manpower, and that, certainly not playing the #1 team in the country to worry about anything else other than playing them.
Dom on the right.
Urban, you have so many young guys on this team that we all watch them grow up. I mean, are you surprised you're here? And now that you are here, I mean, sometimes when you're young, it's like Coach Cooper used to say, if the dog bites, it bites the tough.
Oh, Earlier, I was surprised, not now, because I've seen our team practice and play, and especially how they played in that championship game. I'm not surprised anymore. If you would have told me earlier in the year, because once again, they weren't playing like a championship level team. And the good thing is, I hope to be back here a couple years in a row, because we have a good young team coming back as well.
If there's a city where you could have distractions, this is it. I would think right up to your hotel door is Frenchport. What are the general rules about this week with your team?
All right, we had a long talk. If we have to have conversations about curfew, there will be a curfew. There will be bed checks, and we'll get beat upside down, inside out if we're worried about that kind of stuff. I don't think I have to worry about that with this team. But we are going. There's rules and where to go, where not to go, and then certainly in time. We practice in the mornings, so that's there's going to be early days for our coaches and players. So I don't anticipate an issue.
Would you call 747 arriving in style? What was it like there?
First time I've been on one of those. I actually walked upstairs to see what it looks like. So style, I guess, yeah. I have to ask our pilot that. I don't know. We were on time.
Ted?
Irvin, I don't have to remind you of the circumstances.
I tried to get him going, but what's
Don't
that?
remind you of the circumstances last time you were here for the Sugar Bowl. How would you describe yourself physically and emotionally now compared to that time?
Well, it was a long time ago. We won the game, played well that day. We played Cincinnati and scored a lot of points. T-Boy threw for 400 plus yards. That's all I remember about it. And it was a great experience.
Time for one
How
more?
about Cardell? How's he doing?
He's doing good. I imagine you get some time with him sometime this week. Are we going to let him, Jerry?
Tomorrow.
All right. But he's doing. Had a great week of practice.
You good?
All right.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thanks, sir.